Welcome to our workshop. I'm going to show you today how to make missing parts for chairs. Here I've got a chair that has a middle stretcher, and here I've got a chair that's missing that part. I'm going to have to take these chairs all apart, so stay tuned.
As a furniture repair business, we're opening the doors to our workshop to show you the tools and techniques to repair furniture.
What I need to do is take that apart, repair it, and put it back together so I can get this chair in working order.
We give you tips to make your repair projects easier. Let's get into the workshop and start fixing furniture.
In order to produce this part and fit it in there, I need to take this chair apart. But these chairs are also really loose, so I need to take them apart anyway and reglue them. If you want to see the details on how to take a chair apart, reglue it so it's nice and strong, check out our video on gluing up chairs. I'm going to flip this over and start taking it apart. I put padding on my workbench and then I flip the chair over. First thing I need to do is take that cushion off, so I've got screws to undo, and then I can start taking it apart. This is the right stretcher, this is the left stretcher, and in between here is the piece that I'm missing. This is called an H stretcher because it makes the letter H. I've got dowels that need to go on either side here, and I've got a dowel here that's broken. I need to drill that out. So the first thing to do when replacing a piece is make sure you use the same wood species. This is oak, so I need to find a piece of oak that's going to go in here, and then I need to get it the right dimension of the stretcher in between here, drill holes for the dowels, and also cut it on an angle because these are splayed. They're not parallel to each other, they're on angles. Years ago I got in the habit of labeling the cutoffs when I put them in this rack here. So this is a P14, this is pine, 14 inches long. So it's the species and the length. That way it's very quick for me to come here and figure out, here's a cherry board that's 24 inches long, here's an oak board that's 30 inches long. That's exactly what I need, and pull it out. So I've got this stretcher ready and I need to work out the dimensions. So I look at the chair and measure the length, but I also need to measure the angle. To measure this angle, I use a T-bevel and I line up the parts here. And then with that set, what I do is use my saw set to figure out the angle. And here I've got 4 degrees. I've put links to these tools in the video description. I'm also going to mark the length of this on the front side. Here I've drawn a square line. So I'm setting that on top of the existing stretcher, lining it up here, and then that will give me the accurate measurement here. I now know the length that I need and the angles, and I could go to the saw and cut this now, but I'd have one problem, cutting the mortises for the dowels. I need to make sure they're dead center of these pieces. So what I'm going to do is cut these a little bit longer and cut them square. That way I can center those holes and get them right, and then I can cut the angles after that, and I'll have my piece ready. To find the center of this stretcher, all I need to do is connect the corners, and that'll give me the center mark for where I need to drill. When drilling an end grain, there's a risk that the drill bit might wander. So I use a brad point bit, and that's got a centering piece that makes sure that that hole continues to go straight all the way down. It also makes it easy to start a hole where you've got a crosshair like this. As I drill this hole, I need to make sure that my drill bit is lined up straight this way and straight this way as well. So I stop at a number of points just to make sure that I'm on my mark. Now back to the miter saw. I have to set the table here to 4 degrees, and I'm ready to make my cut. I rounded over the edges of the stretcher to match the existing ones, and I'll show you what this joint looks like. Nice and tight. So this is set here, but on this side I have to drill out a dowel to extract that so I can put that joint together. You can see there's a bunch of glue around here, and this dowel is sticking out a bit. So I have to clean that off, cut off the dowel. That'll allow me to get to the center of this dowel and then hopefully pull it out in one piece. Nope, that's not moving. I drilled this out and it's now ready for the dowel. I've got a video on how to drill out dowels if you want to see that. So with that mortise drilled out, I've now got a joint that comes together. The last step is to put finish on this to match, and then I just need to clean up all the joints in the chair and glue it back together. I'm going to use a scrap piece of lumber here to check the stain. I'm guessing this is an early American color. So what I'll do is just mix up a little bit of this, test it out, and see how close it is. Just move this out of the way. I've completed the staining and finishing process on this part, so I'm now ready for assembly. I've glued up the front and back parts, and they're all set to go, so I'm going to let you watch in fast motion how this all comes together. So there you go, this chair is now fixed. I read every comment, so please post a message or a question. If you'd like to get notified when our next video comes out, click here to subscribe and click on the bell icon. Thanks for watching Fixing Furniture.